Hello, everybody. How's it going? Amiibo Jason?
And happily candied.
It was kind of odd.
Why?
I'm like Amiibo Jason? Not like Amiibo Jason here.
That's why I was surprised. I thought you were going to say more.
My brain is absolutely broken right now because we are officially 12 hours away from
Yes.
Animal Crossing New Horizons, which is exciting as heck.
Yes, it is.
We always like to take this moment, the first minute of the live stream, to make sure you can hear us.
Yeah.
To make sure you can see us, to make sure nothing is broken.
Hopefully.
I think we're good.
I think we're good. Now, if you do have any suggestions for what we should do as far as sound goes, please feel free to say something in chat. We don't have any mods right now, but I do have my computer in front of me, and I will try my best to pay attention to any suggestions you have, at least at the beginning here.
Yeah. We should have some mods coming in, though.
Yes.
I believe so.
I asked.
Yeah.
Once we get into more of our discussion, though, I won't be able to keep an eye on chat as often. So don't worry. Don't take it personally. But we're just going to, I know, get very into what we're talking about because we're both extremely excited.
So first and foremost, welcome to the Nintendo Wire office. Yes. This is my favorite room in the entire house. Our collections are here. I'm a big fan of Mario. Yeah. You're a big fan of Princess Peach and Animal Crossing. We have just a few of our Animal Crossing goodies right there behind us. We have some plushies. Of course I brought the Amiibos out for this. Amiibo, excuse me.
Amiibo, come on.
Yeah,
Plural does not have an S.
I know. So we are ready to discuss our thoughts about tomorrow, to have a conversation with some of you in chat about your thoughts, what we hope to see, what we might not see. Kind of go from there.
Yeah. We're going to try to leave this. We have a general guide of what we would like to touch base on, but we don't want to restrict ourselves with too much of an outline at the same time. So you can expect to see a little bit of speculation as far as just really what we're thinking, what our team has voiced.
I'm just going to turn the volume up on this.
That sounds good. But yeah, we've been talking privately with the Nintendo Wire team. We have an idea of what we could receive tomorrow. Kind of excitingly, about a half hour ago, our team discovered a video shared by Nintendo that was only shared for a few minutes before it was made private.
So it looked like it was actually an advertisement that popped up first, so it was like going before other videos. We got some of the screenshots from it. Do you want to start there?
Yeah, let's start there because that's the newest information we have.
Whoops. All right, yeah, we already have our first casualty here.
Yes.
Let's take a look first at the first screenshot, and that's going to be some of the new outfits that we got to see from this video. Again, this is a screenshot from that video that aired that is now currently private.
Yes. So I have a feeling that it was probably made public by accident, and maybe we'll be seeing it tomorrow after the direct.
Let's go ahead.
Okay. So let's talk about what we're seeing on the screen here, because so far we've only seen snippets of gameplay, and a lot of it has just involved an overview of the island. But right now, we actually have a closer look at what the villager is going to look like. So that means our character that was previously known as the mayor in New Leaf. Now we are pretty much in charge of an island. So we're going to be running it, but what about our character? How are we going to be able to personalize it? How are we going to make it our own? This island is going to be our own. And I'm sure, like you, or like me, everybody else is wondering, how can I customize my island? How can I make it personal? But first and foremost, how can you make your character personal? So what do you see on screen?
Oh man, I wasn't even paying attention.
Okay.
So everybody in chat was like,
gosh.
oh my god, my ears are exploding. So I was over there fixing that.
Yes.
So I think we're in good shape now. People are saying thank you much better.
Okay.
I do my best. I really do. So what I see on screen right now, obviously, are a variety of different hipster outfits for your hipster villager.
My sister loves these, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, these are some major hipster outfits here.
Well, keep in mind that this is only a preview of bare minimum, I'm guessing the basics that we're going to be getting at first in the game. Nintendo is notorious for not wanting to divulge all of the really, really cool stuff right away.
Yeah.
Because they wanna make way for all the cool events that we're gonna get and all the things that we'll be able to buy using bells.
So yeah, I mean it's clothes. I mean, this is probably the piece about it I'm least excited about.
What?
I mean, I get it's a big part of Animal Crossing, but we know that there's going to be a big variety of clothes.
We do, but see, this to me opens the doors for a lot of talk when it comes to character customization, because I want to know, what are the ways in which we're going to be able to get the clothes? Right now, I'm so used to Pocket Camp, and there are events where I can earn a lot of items, and that includes both apparel and furniture.
I mean, I'm assuming Nintendo is going to be, and I don't think this is going to be paid DLC. I think Nintendo is going to be staggering the release of some of this stuff.
Yeah.
Events. I mean, this is something that we saw somewhat of with New Leaf.
Yeah.
But this is the first time Nintendo has this infrastructure built where obviously Nintendo Switch Online, and we're in a very different world now, even when New Leaf came out, where Nintendo can just push little tiny micro updates over to our Switches. So new events, new games coming out. And I think that's the big thing with Pocket Camp that I loved was the fact that anytime a new game, not anytime, but when a big game came out, like if Mario Odyssey came out, they had a Mario event, they had a Splatoon event. We could see that with this. And again, we had that with New Leaf to a certain degree.
Yeah, we did.
But I think it's going to be that times 1,000. Because I think Nintendo's really using this as like, this is the Animal Crossing you get for the next 5 years.
Or more. I mean, we've had New Leaf since 2013 here in the United States. And that means it's been 7 years since we've seen a new game.
Yeah.
So I see this as, I look at Pocket Camp, and I know people don't want to see microtransactions, but I'm taking away something else from Pocket Camp right now, and that is the events and how Nintendo is doing the updates day by day, week by week, getting bonuses for signing in. So who knows what we'll be able to see from those login bonuses when it comes to clothing and furniture and everything. Simply signing in, we might get some benefits from that. So that's why I see the screen, and it sparks this whole load of conversation where we could be seeing a lot of really cool things, especially when it comes to different holidays, different Nintendo game releases, partnerships with other third-party developers. Like, you never know. You never know what you'll see. Yeah, so it's kind of cool looking at that.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see microtransactions in this, but at the same time, too, there's a difference between paid DLC and microtransactions. So do I think there's going to be DLC for this game? Yes.
Yeah,
I do.
Definitely.
To what extent, I don't know. I don't think Nintendo's going to be hiding any major features behind a paywall, so if that's your concern, I wouldn't be too worried. And if they are, we're going to find out in 12 hours. I feel like we're going to get our first idea if there is any kind of paid system whatsoever, DLC or microtransactions, even though I'm guessing that's not the case. We're going to get our first tease of that tomorrow. But Nintendo's been good with that for the most part. I mean, I think Nintendo has a very solid line between their mobile games and their home games. I mean, look at Fire Emblem Heroes. You have the orbs. I mean, that thing is just a money pit. And, well, there is DLC in Fire Emblem Three Houses. There's not orbs. There's not microtransactions. There's not a gacha system. And I hate to say it, Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, to an extent, is a gacha game.
It's the second most it's the second mobile game from Nintendo that on the list that brings in the most revenue besides Fire Emblem Heroes. There's a huge gap between the two, but at the same time it is centered around a lot of microtransactions.
Could you imagine though if they did it the same way?
Well, okay, this is how I see it. We've seen DLC with Super Mario Odyssey. And that was free, I believe, or was that paid?
For Odyssey, it was all free.
It was all
Everything
free.
was free.
Everything was free.
And they could have made a big amount of money on that.
With Splatoon, we saw paid DLC for that one. But those types of add-ons were for those types of games. And they were story-driven. At least for the Splatoon part, the portion of the game, it was the story part of the game. Same with Odyssey. You had a lot of, like the Luigi Balloon game and everything. Those were those game-specific type of DLC. With Animal Crossing, it's a day-by-day game. So I think we're going to see something that is going to be like a day-by-day type of DLC update. And I really think that it could be along the lines of Pocket Camp, where we will see the updates roll out daily, small ones. And then if we want like the larger chunks, bigger add-ons, then I think we could see some paid DLC.
Season Pass, maybe. I guess if they have enough content. Again, I think there's a fine line between having content that's already done and made and then making you pay for it in bite-sized chunks, which some game developers do. Nintendo hasn't really done that yet, so I have really nothing to be overly concerned about from that perspective. But the other kind of DLC or microtransactions are these guys.
Oh, yeah.
Amiibo, the $12.99 to $14 or $15.99 paid DLC for many games. I'm really curious to see. Ooh, we get to switch over to the Amiibo graphic.
Ooh, look at this.
I waited all day for this.
I knew it.
I did.
When I was coming up with topics today and I was making this like list, I automatically put Amiibo on there.
You have to put Amiibo.
I know, because I'm like, well, Jason's going to be there, so I know he's going to bring this up.
Well, first and foremost, I saw people in chat saying Amiibo are dead. Amiibo are not dead. Not quite yet. There is an Amiibo logo on the Animal Crossing box.
That's a big deal.
It's in the game.
That's a big deal.
We are going to figure out something about Amiibo tomorrow. I'm going to put money on it. Does that mean new Amiibo? Probably not. Does that mean it's the same Amiibo functionality we got in Welcome Amiibo? Probably not. I'm guessing it's going to be something a little bit more simplistic. Here's my thought process on it.
Okay.
Number one, Nintendo is not reprinting these, at least to the best of my knowledge.
Yeah.
There's a website you can go to see anytime Nintendo increases the manufacturing on an Amiibo.
Okay.
And Animal Crossing Amiibo have not got that.
Yeah.
So that being said, I wouldn't expect to see new Animal Crossing Amiibo, with the exception of Isabelle from Smash, who is getting a re-release coming out anytime soon.
Yeah. That's different.
The other piece is I can't imagine Nintendo, if they're not re-releasing Amiibo, would hide amazing Amiibo functionality like in this game, or put amazing Amiibo functionality in this game. And those of you, and I'm sure there's many of you who never owned a Wii U, never owned a 3DS, never collected Animal Crossing Amiibo before, won't have the opportunity to do that.
Wii U is more likely. I think a lot of people here who are excited for this Animal Crossing owned a 3DS.
I will give you that.
Yeah.
But unless they're reprinting these things or giving new players the option to buy these, they can't put amazing content behind Amiibo.
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't be fair to all of the people who never collected these things, which are not a lot of people collected these things. If you go into a half-price books or a thrift store, these things are like $1.99. Even though, mark my words, whatever Amiibo functionality these things do have in the game, even though it's going to be small in my opinion, expect the prices of these things to like shoot through the roof.
Yeah.
I'm expecting like all of the half-price books to be like completely cleared out of Amiibo.
Maybe I would like to see that, because it breaks my heart every single time I see a Digby for $2.99 at Game Exchange, and I hate that, because I love these. These were some of the Amiibo I was most excited about.
Yeah, they're nice. I mean, they look great.
I understand why they're not as sought after. It would be great to see a spike in interest in them for sure. But one thing that I do want to talk about are the Amiibo cards. Are they going to play a role in these?
Again, I can't imagine that's going to happen.
I don't think so
either.
My dream here would be to have similar functionality to what we saw in Welcome Amiibo, the addition to New Leaf. And that was several years ago. But when Welcome Amiibo came along, we got these Amiibo card releases. And there are about 400 cards of this series, at least. We also have the camper ones.
Yeah, we don't have all of those. We do have all of the Hello Kitty ones.
We have all of the Hello Kitty ones. But keep in mind, my dream would be to make it easy to bring my favorite animals to my island. Like, that's what I want to happen. If there's another way to do that, if there's another way where you can actually choose to invite animals without Amiibo, that's great. But if there's going to be some Amiibo use, I would love for these cards to come into play.
No, I think once again, unless they're reprinting these cards, they're not going to put such an amazing feature behind something that not everybody can get their hands on.
Yeah.
I think cards are dead. I think cards are going to do absolutely nothing. And if for any reason they do something, it could be something similar to what they did in Breath of the Wild, where you can tap in an Amiibo and get an item.
I like that.
So, I mean,
we actually had fun with that.
Yeah, there's a crafting system in this game. We know that. You're going to have to collect wood. It's not quite like Minecraft, but it's kind of like Minecraft, sort of. So maybe you tap an Amiibo once a day or twice a day or 5 times a day, you can get some items.
Yeah.
I do believe this Amiibo is going to function. And it's going to have significant functionality.
Okay.
And I think it's only going to be Isabelle.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is because Isabelle is getting a reprint or restock in April. Yeah. April 20th, I believe it's coming back out. It's up for pre-order right now at Best Buy if you want to pick one up. I think they're doing that for a reason.
Okay.
And I think Isabelle is going to do something.
I love it.
But the rest of them, I'm guessing it's going to be very, very minimal. And I want to be wrong.
Yeah.
I really do. I want to see massive Amiibo functionality. In fact, I would love to see new Amiibo.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't think that's totally nuts.
I thought, did you touch base on that when we first started? You said, oh no, you said they weren't going to get reprints.
I just think these things came out at a bad time.
They came out at a bad time. I really would like to know, though, if the hype for the series is revived through New Horizons, would the Amiibo do better for Animal Crossing?
The Amiibo were released alongside them for the first time. They would be selling like crazy.
That would be great.
If you look at any merchandise,
Yeah.
the cases, obviously the Switch that was announced, that's sold out everywhere.
Yeah.
Even the strategy guide, people are going nuts for this stuff. They want Animal Crossing merchandise. And this came out, like I said, at a terrible time.
Yeah, it did.
I mean, Amiibo Festival was not a great game. And it was not the way to introduce Animal Crossing Amiibo. This would have been.
Oh, yeah. I agree. I think that they wanted to test the waters a little bit. And they were excited about Amiibo. And they wanted to promote Amiibo as much as possible. And this is another way, I think, too, if they want to revive Amiibo a little bit. Because with the Smash line dying down, to revive it through something like this with characters that people know and love, that would be a great way to bring Amiibo back.
Yeah.
And I think if they did it right with marketing and events. You remember the Toys R Us events we helped host?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we helped host Toys R Us events locally. And we were able to give our feedback back to the retailer when it was around. And we had a great time, and it was a good way to promote things like this.
Press F in chat for Toys R Us, by the way.
Oh. Let's honor the company which we miss so much.
I really do.
I know. We talk about that pretty often. But yeah, I think that if they do it right through marketing and local events, I think they could really, really do well and bring Amiibo back when it comes to Animal Crossing.
I would like to see them not reprint them. I'd like to see some specific. I mean, instead of the grass, give me some sand.
The sand, yeah. And we need Isabelle in her island outfit.
The same thing with Timmy and Tommy. The same thing with Tom Nook.
Yeah.
I mean, there is definitely a lot of room for some cool stuff with Amiibo. But I've said this before. We have a podcast. So if you want to check that out, really quick plug. I talk about Amiibo quite a bit on the podcast. I firmly believe Amiibo are not dead, but Nintendo doesn't have the same kind of care for Amiibo. I mean, they have to print them, they have to make them, they have to send them to a store, they take up a lot of room.
Yeah.
They're not selling nearly as much anymore. If you go to Target, you can find the entire last wave of Smash Amiibo. Simon Belmont was actually clearanced at the Target by me.
Wow.
But that being said, I can't imagine it makes a lot of financial sense for Nintendo to take the risk of making this physical item, shipping it to stores, taking all this risk, and having the potential of it not selling. Even the Smash stuff isn't selling. So I think 2020 could be the last year we see Amiibo functionality in games. Yeah. Maybe Nintendo will revamp it to a certain degree. But that being said, it makes me a bit sad.
It's sad, but I can understand why too. I mean, when Nintendo opened the door with the Switch release, this floodgate opened when it came to all the games that the company was working with. And that opened new avenues to the theme park at Universal Studios. It opened Detective Pikachu movie in theaters. And we've seen this ripple effect with everything Nintendo has its hands in. So I can understand why the attention might not fall on something like Toys to Life right now. I think you're right. I think it's possible that it could be revived. But maybe not right away.
Yeah, you never know. I want to see it. I still think all the Smash fighters, all the DLC are going to get some sort of Amiibo.
Yeah.
So I think we have that to look forward to. But Wisp is in this game.
Yeah.
And Wisp, if you're not familiar with Welcome Amiibo, he is a ghost that lives in like this Amiibo-looking lamp. He's like a genie ghost.
It's a magic lamp. He's a genie ghost, yeah.
And he is pretty much all about Amiibo. That's his whole purpose in the game. In fact, he was a new character, right?
No.
Was he not new?
No. Did you ever explore the woods?
Nope.
You never did late at night?
Nope.
Oh my gosh. So in the earlier games, think GameCube.
You know what? Yes.
You're exploring the woods late at night, and you can run into the ghosts. Now, of course, back then there was no Amiibo functionality. Yeah. No Amiibo. But Wisp existed. So Wisp could technically still exist as a regular character with no Amiibo attachments at all.
I think we're going to get a very brief Amiibo topic tomorrow. And I don't want to spend the entire episode tonight.
You would spend the entire
episode.
I
personally would. But I know we have other things to talk about.
Yes, we do. We do.
So
We have a lot of little topics.
Let's go into a few other of the screenshots that popped up.
Okay.
This one was the path, which this is not our first time seeing the path.
No, it's not.
There was another leaked shot, I believe, that was in Taiwan.
It was earlier on.
So we knew there was paths, but
Yes.
it looks like you can dig your own paths out, which is kind of nice.
Now, I'm particularly excited about this. I got really excited when I saw this today.
And you got slopes, too.
Yes.
Look at that slope.
Look at that slope. And it's, you know what? It's not like the steep slope that we've seen
It's
previously.
subtle.
It's
Subtle
a
slope.
lot more subtle, which I like because you could see that the island has more layers.
And you hate having your neighbors invade your personal space.
Don't invade my personal space.
You can build a moat around your house.
I could have.
And I totally see you doing that because you're a queen.
I am a queen. I automatically like to place my house when I get a pick next to water in some way.
Yeah.
So I usually like to set it next to a river. But house location is everything. You want it close to everything that's going on, like retail and the town and everything like that. You want it to be surrounded by animals.
Yeah.
But you also don't want it far away from anything either. You want it more central. So picking a place where your house is important to me, at least. But also the design around the house, and that's where paths come in.
Yep.
Now, a lot of people use paths in New Leaf to make a way so you didn't ruin the grass when you are walking on it. Did you ever?
I didn't care.
You didn't care. Okay.
I did not care.
Because a lot of people, that was a huge thing on the 3DS forums. I was very big into the 3DS forums back in the day. And a lot of people would talk about using paths on there. So you could walk on the paths, and I would set rules. You visit my town, you stick to the path.
She does. She's crazy about this game.
And you do not run anywhere in my town, especially for my beautiful flowers that I worked very hard breeding. Very hard breeding. All my pink flowers. So paths are really important. Now this, to me, sparks a discussion about, are we going to see different types of paths? Like this one looks a little bit more of like a dirt or a brick type of print. Are we going to be able to make other kinds of paths?
Oh, I'm sure it's going to.
Oh yeah, that's what I want to know. But that also leads to the discussion, are we going to have QR codes where we'll be able to scan in our own prints?
No.
Now, to me, as much as I love QR codes, besides QR codes, but ways to share patterns and whatnot. What if there is a system where you can, kind of like Mario Maker, you can create your own designs and share them with people through a system?
Yeah, I could imagine there being
like
a friend system where you can send a gift with a design.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Or just a general pool of different designs that you could use for paths. Now, as much as I like the idea, because I love the idea of customization, I also think it would make a nice, clean game like this a little bit messy. And I don't like that idea. I don't think Nintendo would want to do that. So I can see pre-made designs being readily available for players.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll go back to it real quick. I jumped away from it.
You're trying to move my
I'm not trying to move on, but
here.
you can see there's already two path designs. I mean, the slope has the rocks.
Yes.
You have this, so
Yeah.
I'm sure there's going to be more.
But is the slope restricted to just the rocks, or could it be? These are important.
I'm sure these are very, very important
details.
Yes. The paths don't excite me all that much. Again. I mean, I'm happy if you're happy about the paths.
I am.
I'm more excited about the crafting.
I know the idea of crafting.
I mean, the crafting in this, again, it's reminiscent of Minecraft to a certain degree. I'm not saying this game is Minecraft, because I know that some people don't like that comparison, but get over it. It's kind of like Minecraft. Pocket Camp dabbled in crafting like that, but it was more of a mechanic where it says, okay, you need these 3 things and do this, and you just wait. It was more of like a mechanic where they could get you to spend your leaf tickets to make things go faster, quicker. This game looks like it's really going to be focusing on some crafting.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that means really detailed customization. We had that sort of with retail.
Oh, yeah.
With recent Cyrus.
I actually thought you were referring to that at first with Cyrus. I crafted hundreds, if not thousands, of items through Cyrus.
Yep.
And doing so made everything just a little bit more special. And there were 2 types of crafting that you could use through him. And that was kind of like the pre-made items. You could do basics, like change a color of something, or a very small general shape. Otherwise, you could actually enter your own like QR patterns, and you could integrate your own creative ideas into the items. But those items could not be shared or sold to animals within the town.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see if we can customize these crafted items a little bit more, or is everything just pre-made?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm thinking about it now.
Yeah.
We have a 25-minute direct tomorrow.
Yes.
About this. I mean, I get that there's a lot of things we haven't seen about this game, but there's a lot of things that we have seen too.
We have, but okay, I'll be honest. 25 minutes is a good amount of time to get new information, but it's not to me the ideal amount of time that I want covered for Animal Crossing. To me,
25 minutes is so long.
No. Oh my gosh. I have played this game newly for 7 years now. And not a month goes by when I don't at least play it once. Like, I love this game. And there's so much to it. I can only imagine what's involved with the Switch version.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot to it. But at the same time, too, you got to leave some mystery.
Yeah, leaving mystery is good, but there's still so many basics that need to be revealed.
Like, I don't want to know about how Tom Nook is going to give you... I mean, we already know that he's, like, hooking people up on this island.
Yeah.
I want there to be mystery behind the story. I want there to be, like, this exciting first time when I'm playing the game. I want to discover things on my own.
Oh, yeah, that's a given. But there's still so much more that we could learn with the mystery still present.
I think 25 minutes is probably the longest that we've had for a dedicated direct.
Yeah.
So we've had longer presentations for the Smash stuff, but it wasn't really considered a direct. So I think 25 minutes is good. We had a whole E3 segment dedicated to it. I do think there's going to be some bombshells in here, some things none of us expected.
Oh, I'm sure.
I've mentioned Amiibo. I'm hoping for an Amiibo bombshell. I'm not holding my breath. I'd like to talk to you about the potential, something that I've been thinking about.
Sure.
Of a demo.
Oh, yes. You mentioned this in your tweet.
Yeah. So I think it's not a crazy idea to think that there could be a demo for this announced for tomorrow. That could be released instantly. Like right after this presentation, download the demo.
Yeah.
And by demo, I mean you can explore an island.
Yeah.
Like a temporary island. You can learn the basics of the craft system.
Yeah.
You can learn the basics of like making paths, making slopes so that when the game comes out, you're ready.
I like that.
But nothing, I can't imagine anything would carry over because everything is going to be so personalized.
Yeah.
But I could imagine there being just basic tutorial. You can build your villager on the demo and have that carry over to the full game.
Yeah.
And learn the basics of the island. Imagine, so remember the commercial that came out not that long ago? Yeah. Where Tom Nook's on stage and all the animals are in the audience.
They're looking at him,
Imagine the demo starting off where you are like in that theater with all of the animals or other villagers even too, like other human players.
Yeah.
And you're getting like, here's what you can expect from your island vacation. Again, nothing insane, but enough to get people excited.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably not going to happen, but I'd like to see it happen.
It would be great. I think that's a good idea. I would love for it to carry over to the actual game, but I'd be okay with being able to having the ability to experiment with all the different functions and maybe reveal something else that we haven't already seen. Something that I was talking about earlier with Daniel, who is fantastic when it comes to getting out pretty much all of our very important Animal Crossing information on the team. He was saying that we've seen a preview of like the basics when it comes to island life, but we haven't really seen anything when it comes to like the town and how it's going to unfold as far as the museum goes. Pretty much the society of the island. So I'd like to talk a little bit more about how you think the society is going to unfold between the animals and the villager.
So we did get our first bit of information about the museum today. Amazon has released their pre-orders for the strategy guide.
Yep.
And in the description of the strategy guide, we got our first official confirmation that there is going to be a museum and that you are going to be providing things to the museum.
Yeah.
Are you surprised? You shouldn't be.
No.
I mean, it's a staple of Animal Crossing.
It is.
If the museum wasn't in the game, I would have eaten my hat, which I'm not wearing. But there's no way the museum wouldn't be in there, but people went nuts. Like, it's been confirmed. That's how desperate everybody is for any kind of new Nintendo information. And part of me feels like that's because we have no other like Nintendo stuff to look forward to at the moment.
Do you really have that little faith
No,
in
because
the Animal Crossing community?
I personally,
it was huge.
I see that there's people online
Yeah.
and on Twitter that say things like, we don't know anything about Animal Crossing New
Yeah.
Horizons. That's not true. We know a lot about this game.
We know a good amount. I want to know more.
Look at what's going on the screen right now.
Yeah.
They're showing us the craft system.
Yeah.
We got to see somebody making a path. This video is from a 20-minute video. 20 minutes. We already have a lot of information about Animal Crossing.
Well, I also wonder too, is everybody who is complaining, are they privy to all of the advertisements that have come out? I mean, we can say that...
I'm sure they are.
Well, believe it or not, people have asked me, they think that I have like the inside scoop on like Animal Crossing. I do not have the inside scoop. But they ask me these questions and I tell them and I point them to information that has been out for quite some time. It's basic information. I think that people also don't know how to exactly search for this information too. So that's part of the problem. But yeah, a lot of information is out there, but there's still so much more that we will learn.
I totally agree.
That's what tomorrow is for.
I think we've only seen the tents so far, right? We haven't seen the inside of even... Have we seen the inside of even an animal's house?
No, nothing. That's what the society part I'm talking about is.
Well, that's fine. Let there be some mystery for that.
No, and I mean,
I actually don't even want... I hope they don't show the house.
Jason.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying that we should talk about more, about not... Should we wait to see it for the game? But is it possible that we could be shown it tomorrow?
I hope they don't, personally.
Yeah.
I'd like to go through that process on my own.
Yeah.
But again, it's a house, so it's not like we can't... I'm not expecting anything major.
Okay.
Like water slides going through your house.
Oh my gosh, water slides.
Or anything like that.
You know what? Now I'm really crossing my fingers that there's going to be particularly a water slide in the house. Just to prove you wrong.
You know, I actually thought about the idea of having a pet. But having a pet in an animal village would be kind of messed up.
Okay,
but I mean, you can have fish and hamsters.
Here's my thing. Okay, slowly over time with the series, we've seen relationships form between characters.
Yeah.
You know, there's the whole story between the Able sisters and Nook, right? There's that whole really, really sad backstory that not everybody knows about. And then moving on from that, New Leaf, we saw Cyrus and Reese, and they are
married.
They're married. They're a couple. Now I want to see, are any characters going to have families, little ones, like with them? Like, are we going to see a progression between these relationships that have already developed? Because that's something we haven't yet seen. And I know I mentioned this way back when we streamed another time, but that's something I've been curious about.
I like the idea of like having like a matchmaker type thing.
Wait, so you can actually match up other animals?
Your animals.
I meant like pre-made families.
No,
and, like, the story,
marriages, man.
I love the idea. I'm not saying I don't like the idea.
I think that there would be too much. Like,
I can see this going badly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I don't know how they would pull that off, but I do like the idea where there could be a family that moves in.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we've already had kangaroos that have joeys, but the joeys just kind of mimic what their mothers do.
Somebody, I can't remember who it was. It was somebody, one of my friends online. They said they were very, very bothered by the idea that these children sitting in their mother's pouches, they're just like vacant. Yeah. And they said there's something just not right about this situation with the mothers going around carrying these babies, and there's nothing to that. Yeah. It's just these kangaroos carrying around babies.
So one other thing too, and I totally forgot to mention this during the Amiibo segment. Yeah. Do you guys remember, and I'm sure you do, Welcome Amiibo gave you the opportunity to scan in other Amiibo that weren't Animal Crossing related and get amazing villagers? Wolf Link was in there. Yeah. Ganon was in there. Ganon! Pig Ganon was in Animal Crossing Welcome Amiibo.
Yeah.
And I will tell you right now, he is currently in my town. Alongside Wolf Link. Medley from Wind Waker is in my town.
Splatoon is in there too.
Yeah, they have, so the Splatoon characters, they have a squid, they have an octopus, and then they have these two squirrels who cosplay as Callie and Marie, which is neat. Monster Hunter has a rep.
Forgot about that.
But that Amiibo never came out in the US, but I was lucky enough to import it because that's what I do.
His name is Amiibo Jason.
Yeah. So you got, and I cannot remember the name of the cats from Monster Hunter.
I always forget.
I'm not even going to try.
It's the cat.
It's on the tip of my
It's
tongue.
the cat. Is it really, though?
It really is.
I don't think so.
Come back to me in like 5 minutes.
Okay,
I guarantee you'll have it.
I will ask
remembered.
you.
So you had that one too. I'm trying to remember. I think there was more.
There might have been.
I'm trying to think if there was
It
any.
was really
Epona.
cool. Yeah.
Link's horse
Yeah.
was an Animal Crossing character.
Yeah.
So that opens the door up to other potential Nintendo characters joining Animal Crossing too.
Yes.
We also got Hello Kitty cosplayers from the Hello Kitty collection that came out, which never came out in the US. It was Europe and Japan
Yes.
only, which makes no sense to me.
But luckily, even though we thought at first that was going to be contained just to New Leaf, we do have all of those characters available in Pocket Camp. So I think...
Oh, the Hello Kitty
The
ones.
Hello Kitty
Yes.
ones. The Hello Kitty ones.
Not like Wolf Link.
No. Oh, no. I would have told you right away.
Yeah,
if
I would
saw
have
that.
been on that.
Yeah. But, yeah, so I think it's possible that we could see at least some of those characters, maybe through Amiibo compatibility, over here in New Horizons.
Yeah. So I think that's a kind of neat thing to think about, too. I mean, we've evolved the series so much since Welcome Amiibo.
Yeah.
And then into Pocket Camp, now you can dress up your characters and cosplay, and pretty much they had Mario hat, Luigi hat. I think they had a Link costume.
Yeah, they have a Princess Peach dress.
They had so many really cool things you could do.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to see some big improvements
Yes.
to that kind of thing.
Well, not to completely deviate from that, we can still talk about new characters.
Sure.
It just won't be Amiibo related right
That's
now. We recently reported on, not too long ago, some of the new characters that we saw pop up, and not from any Nintendo promos, but from merchandise.
Yeah, we had cases, and then there was, I think, one leaked image too.
Yes.
A lot of the NPCs were leaked here first.
Yes.
So we have some, it looks like we have kids of some like very familiar people. So Chip, he's the guy who runs the fishing tournament.
Yep.
My guess is this is his son or his, I'm going to say nephew.
Nephew.
I'm going to say nephew.
Okay.
And then we have a little boar with turnips on her
I'm
head.
hoping it's Joan's
Granddaughter.
Joan's
way too
'cause
old to have a young daughter.
Yeah, because this boar looks young, very young, and she's carrying them on top of her head in a little hat. It's
Let
really
me put
cute.
this. You can talk. Let me put this.
That
on the
sounds
screen.
really good. Yeah. So they're definitely very young compared to the characters that we were used to. And I think, like we've seen in the past, it's not like the other original characters are going to completely disappear. But I think that these newer versions are going to be slowly integrated into the story. And I really like that idea. I think it's possible, especially with did we say he's a beaver?
Which one?
The Chip's nephew.
Yeah, I think he's a beaver.
Okay. With the beaver that we're seeing, we initially saw him in the promo art for Animal Crossing New Horizons. We got a peek of him in the background, and there were two new characters in
He's
that
on the
promo
box art.
art. Yeah, well, that's what I was saying. It's the promo art / box art. So I think that with them in the forefront right now, with a lot of Nintendo's promotional work, I think it's possible we might actually see some glimpse of them tomorrow.
And then really quick, full disclaimer, this image that we're using right now is from animalcrossingworld.com. Just want to make sure I sourced them for using this image.
Yeah.
Can you put it back on that one?
Yes, I can.
So you have the look at the young boar. So obviously it looks like it's going to be Joan. You have these two pilots. They're dodos, which is amazing.
Amazing.
So dodos are flightless birds.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that they're flying in an airplane.
Yeah.
Which I love.
Dodo Airlines.
It's great.
I love that it's called Dodo Airlines. Really quick before there are so many pre-order bonuses right now available all over the world, and in France right now they are including a bonus that contains 3 different items, one of which is a boarding pass for Dodo Airlines.
Yeah.
So people who buy a copy of the game there can actually have a pass that looks like they're going to fly on Dodo Airlines.
Yeah.
It's pretty great.
So we have some other things here too. We have a chameleon-looking character.
Yeah.
I think it's a chameleon. What if it's a dinosaur? Oh man, that'd be sweet. Give me a dinosaur. It's a chameleon.
It has to be a chameleon.
We have a wolf character who looks very, very close to
Freya.
Whitney.
Freya.
Is it Freya?
Freya is the pink one. Whitney is a light blue.
That is not Freya.
That's not Freya. I don't believe it's Freya. This one has too much of an orange look, and it's definitely not the right color eyes and eyeshadow.
Well, Freya's snout is pink. So this one has a...
No, Freya's snout is not pink. Freya's back is pink.
I'm pretty sure when we looked it up, but you know what? She's going to go look it up. She has to prove me wrong. What else do we have? We have another sheep, which you can't have enough sheep. That's great.
Oh yeah, okay. Cream. Yeah, it's cream.
Okay, it's cream. I was wrong. Fine.
Oh.
What else do we have? So we have another sheep.
Yep.
Which I think is great.
I love the sheep. Oh, question.
Yeah.
I can't remember this off the top of my mind. This sheep definitely looks a lot slimmer and a little less plump than...
Looks like a kid.
Okay. Now, I was just wondering if all the sheep were remodeled.
We saw the other sheep.
I know. I can't remember off the top
weren't.
of my head. Okay. So they all looked the same.
So this could be a youth, like a little kid. Look at this youth.
Did you just call a younger thing youth?
Yes, it's a youth.
Okay.
So it could be a youth.
Okay.
A small youth.
Oh, those youths.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What's wrong with youth?
No, the thing is I like it a lot. It's just really...
But I think it looks like a kid. So, I mean, we have a kid NPC. We have 2 kid NPCs. We have whatever the ship thing is, and we have Joan's granddaughter, potentially.
Keep in mind that they might not be the nephew and granddaughter, but we're just saying that.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. But I think the inclusion of these 2 characters, and obviously Timmy and Tommy have been in the series forever.
Yeah.
In fact, I think Timmy and Tommy might have been the only like children characters that weren't in a pouch.
No.
No?
No. The kitty.
Oh, I don't consider the cat. Are you talking about Kate?
Yeah,
Katie?
Katie.
I don't think Katie's a kid.
She lost her mommy.
Yeah?
That's the whole point of it.
You lose your mommy. You say mommy.
No, I don't.
Yeah. I think your mom's in chat right now.
I call her Momo. I don't call her mommy.
Momo, if you're in chat right now, tell me if you think Katie could easily be Lauren's age.
It bothers me when grown adults call their parents mommy and daddy. That's just weird. Sorry. But
your mommy's in chat right now.
Yeah, I know she's in chat right now. But her name isn't mommy. Anyway, Katie...
You call her Momo, which is like mommy.
No, it means peach in Japanese. So, Katie loses her mother, and you have to help her find her mother in New Leaf. So yeah, she's a kid too.
I think she's like 42.
Now, I know you're doing this just to get on my nerves now.
I could be.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like the idea of there being kids in here too.
I like how she backs me up.
Katie
is a kid. Thank you.
God, there's so many interesting things that they could do with this. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm excited for tomorrow for sure.
Yeah.
Because I know we're not going to spend like another hour talking about this tonight, even though I'm sure we potentially could.
Yeah. There are some other things that I think we could touch on really quick.
Oh yeah, I wasn't saying we're closing this out.
Okay.
But yeah, go ahead. Okay. Move on.
We've talked a lot about characters already, and talked about other features. I think something that we could definitely move into right now are collectibles and activities. So fishing, bug catching, diving, and what about new activities?
Yeah, they gotta have something new.
Yeah, what haven't we seen yet, and what would you like to see? We have talked about this in the past, but I'd like to know more. Any new ideas?
Rhythm game. Give me a rhythm game.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Back in the day and this is, we might have some like old school GameCube Animal Crossing fans here. There was aerobics, and I think it was once a month, and it took place in the town square in the original Animal Crossing game. And it was so cute. Like, they sang this little tune, and all the animals were doing like this synchronized like aerobic activity. And it was great.
You could actually do it in your basement too at home.
Oh yeah,
or it set it up in your home too. Yeah. Do you know why? Do you remember you played that one little bit?
Yeah.
And I got really excited because I started bouncing up and down. You can do that inside your house on the GameCube version too, and it's this really cute little like upbeat bounce that they do, and they do all these little movements for exercising.
Yeah. So I like the idea. So I think in one of the promotional artwork that was in Taiwan. Oh man, I wish I had the image handy. It looks like they brought the aerobics back.
Yeah.
So there is what definitely appears to be some sort of like synchronized aerobic activity going on in Town Square.
That's so cool.
I would like there to be some sort of like rhythm mini game for that.
Yeah.
Where you could like earn points or something if you did the aerobics in tune or in line with what's going on with the instructor. So I like the idea of like more in-depth mini games. I think New Leaf had a huge variety of mini games, but I'd like to see more.
Yeah.
I'm struggling to think of what they could be because I mean all the mini games took place on an island. like
They did.
in New Leaf, and now we are on, an island.
What if we go to the mainland
Oh yeah,
to go do the mini games?
That'd be fun.
Yeah, what if we have to take a boat with Captain, who I very much dislike? We have to sit with him uncomfortably on a boat and go to the mainland for a new activity.
I could dig that. In fact, I'd love that.
Yeah.
I'd like to see the coffee mini game return from New Leaf.
Yeah.
Brewster.
Oh, that was fun. Yeah.
my favorite part about New Leaf.
Didn't you bought the Brewster, and that was one of the only items you bought in Pocket Camp?
Yeah, I
using
did.
Your
I
Leaf
bought
tickets.
2 different forms of Brewster.
Yeah.
The Holiday Brewster.
Yeah.
And the Standard Brewster.
Holiday Brewster.
Sadly, you cannot put those 2 items next to each other
No.
and have 2 Brewsters in your town.
No, but you do have one in your camp and one in your cabin.
I do, and he just runs back and forth between the 2.
Just
He's
vigorously.
flies. He's very quick.
Yes.
So I'm hoping. Do we have confirmation that Brewster's even in the game? Have we seen him yet?
I don't believe we have.
If anybody in chat knows, let us know.
I don't believe we have. I wish Daniel was around because I would definitely check with him on that. But I don't believe I've heard him mentioned.
I mean, you can't go on an island vacation
without coffee. Yeah.
So yeah, Brewster mini game was fun. So if you're not familiar, you could actually you'd have to memorize the orders of everybody in your town, and I did.
Oh
I wrote that stuff down.
Oh, so you didn't cheat and look it up online?
No, I wrote it down first.
Good for you.
I wrote it down first,
Okay.
and then I memorized it. I had everybody's
That's
coffee
amazing.
ordered down.
That's awesome.
I was very serious about Brewster.
Yeah.
My friend Des, I'm not sure if she's in chat right now. We were Animal Crossing buddies back in the day. We would just sit on like a park bench and like drink coffee.
Yep.
Like it was such a fun part of the game.
That's what Eva and I do now. Our daughter, we like to go on, and one of the first things she does is run over to my coffee shop. And she's like, let's go get coffee. And my sisters, my mom, and I, when we play, we sit and we pretend we're having a conversation inside the coffee shop while someone does something annoying, like running around the table while the rest of us are enjoying ourselves.
Yeah. I'd like to see some other additions like City Folk had, where you would have more of a robust city/town option. And granted, I know you're on an island, but something tells me that there's going to be some sort of city here.
Yeah.
So we know that
That's what I was talking about. Yeah. Society. Like a city, a place where people are going to be able to gather together with all the different shops.
Yeah. I want to see it. I'm not saying it has to be as big as City Folks was.
No.
But I'd like to see it expanded from what we had in New Leaf.
Actually, I would like... Well, City Folk was pretty small. I would like to see it bigger than New Leaf. I would expect something a little more grand. I mean, especially with Nintendo's ability to keep adding to the game.
Yeah.
Something that, for some reason, back in the day, this is why City Folk is my least favorite Animal Crossing game. It gave us the promise of going to a city and exploring a town. And even though you could unlock different shops and whatnot, I still felt like everything was very stunted when it came to, like, they had, back in the day, they didn't have updates. They couldn't like run an update like with Pocket Camp could. Not like we'll be able to have with New Horizons. But I thought that we would be able to get more variety when it came to the seasonal updates. Yeah. So like Gracie's store would receive new fashion lines and all the new items, but it was only seasonal. So it was on a clock. Yeah. So with this one, I feel like we could see so much more in a much bigger and broader city.
Part of me feels like the island is going to be an island, and there's not going to be a city on the island.
And then we have to leave.
And you have to leave the island to go
City
somewhere
Folk,
new, which I think would be neat.
Yeah,
I'd be totally fine with that.
I'd be fine with that.
I like the idea of being able to run your own store and sell things in your store and have people from online come to your town or come to your shop and buy stuff. I would love to run my own coffee shop for my friends. Yeah, I think that would be amazing. I think those are the major things I'd like to see, but I'm not holding my breath.
Well, that's actually another really good point, though. And we've talked about this before, but very briefly. Like I turned each of my houses in my New Leaf town into like one is a bakery, one is a toy shop, one is a castle. Yeah. With the overall theme of my town, fairy tale. But will we have maybe designated shops that we can design similar to Happy Home Designer? Yeah. Like could you build your own coffee shop?
I'd love it.
That'd be cool. And then you could have Brewster there.
There's a house.
He would help run it. Oh, yeah, there it is.
We did get to see inside a house. Yeah, sorry, I got my ADD kicked in. I'm like, there's a house! I see it!
But, yeah, with, what?
You were talking about something. No,
You
I
weren't
saw.
even
I was too,
listening?
but I saw a house.
Oh.
I saw a house.
Oh. Okay.
You were talking about Happy Home Designer.
Happy
how
Home
it could
Designer.
be like that.
How it could be like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my
there you go.
gosh. This is what I live with. This
Yes,
is what I have
that's
to
very
deal
true.
with every day.
I saw a house, and I had to point it out.
Good job, Jason. You did it.
Hey, Young Cavs, $2. I appreciate that.
Oh.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
We usually don't expect donations in these streams, but it's always a welcome thing to see. Young Cavs is actually pretty awesome.
Yeah, he's great. He's been a huge supporter of our team and of Nintendo Wire, so thank you.
He's asking a question.
Yeah, what is it?
So he's saying, what is the most unlikely thing that you'd love to see?
Is yours about Amiibo?
No.
Okay, what is it?
The most unlikely thing I'd like to see would be some sort of Nintendo-themed villagers. Specific, like Wolf Link.
Okay.
I know that's technically Amiibo. But Pokemon.
Yeah.
Not all of them. Pikachu and Eevee.
Oh.
Pikachu and Eevee. Pikachu and Eevee.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
Granted, yes, I know that it would be an insane crossover.
Yeah.
But it would be, people would go nuts if you could. So, you had Epona, who's a flippin' horse.
Yeah.
A horse join the game. Ganon, the king of evil. The most evil character in Nintendo's entire repertoire.
Yeah,
Repertoire.
Youths and repertoire.
Yes. He was a villager.
Okay.
Why can't Pikachu be one? So I think that's the most unlikely thing would be throw in Pikachu into Animal Crossing.
It's actually a really good request. I mean, a hope, a dream.
I mean, it's like Mystery Dungeon to a certain extent.
Yeah,
where all of the Pokemon were like friends and hanging out.
Yeah.
What about you?
It's hard to pinpoint one thing that I would like that is unlikely. I would like to be able to pick which villagers are. I wouldn't say it's unlikely. I feel like that at some point we'll have the capability of choosing which animals stay in our island. But yeah, other than that, I really don't know. I'm so open right now to possibilities and new things that I'm not dead set on one particular dream of my own. I'm very open-minded. I trust Nintendo. I was so impressed with New Leaf when it came out, and it enhanced the series in every way. I trust Nintendo to make decisions.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
So I hope that answered your question.
Yes. But thank you for the question. And it was so much easier to see with the donation. So yeah, that's a great way to get attention.
I think that's the whole reason they do it.
I know.
Hey, you want us to talk to you?
Yeah.
Give us your money.
Give us your money. Yeah.
Throw your bells in chat.
It was really easy to see that question. Let's see. I had some other topics here. Let's see. So we talked about possible new activities. Anything else? Anything for collecting? Can you see anything else that you would imagine to be fun to collect?
No, I think there's going to be something on the island. I'm just not sure what it's going to be.
Okay.
I mean, it's an island. Maybe there's a volcano. Maybe it's rare minerals or something like that you have to collect.
I like the idea of a volcano.
Like an active volcano.
It seems so violent for Animal Crossing.
I'd like to see there be some sort of like messed up society where once a month you have to take one of your villagers and throw them into the volcano as a sacrifice.
Joe versus the volcano.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, that I've changed my mind. That is the most unlikely thing I'd like to see.
Amazing.
In Animal Crossing. Some sort of animal sacrifice to the volcano god.
Yes, please.
I do think there could be a volcano on the island. I think that would be neat to explore. But I think it's going to be like souvenirs. Yeah. Obviously, we're going to get fish. We're going to get bugs. We've seen that. But what can the island give us to collect that we haven't seen before?
Yeah.
Or could there be something that you could just make your own stuff and put it in a museum? We've had special exhibits like that in the past.
Definitely. I think that would be fun. That would be part of the whole crafting part of the game too. And I think that could definitely enhance the game. So, add to your museum by crafting very particular items for it.
Yeah.
That would be nice. I'd like to see that. I feel like it's a bit more creative, and it takes a bit more, with Red and all the art gallery.
Yeah.
You had to spot like what was different? What was the legitimate piece of artwork there? And that was kind of like a cool little puzzle to add slowly to the museum. But I think to craft something to add to museum would be fun too.
One other weird thing that I'd like to see too would be basic board games, like
Yeah.
playing checkers online with your friends or something. Oh man, it's like almost like 1990s Yahoo or something like that. Your little avatar playing checkers. But just something that like a little board game adventure. If you've ever played, oh man, I can't believe I'm going to say this. If you've ever played Amiibo Festival, they had some really fun little mini games in Amiibo Festival.
Yeah.
There was one called Island Escape. And
We did have fun with that.
Island Escape was so good
Yeah.
that they actually put it in New Leaf
Yeah.
as
that's
a
right.
really cool playable game. So I'd like to see something like that too. But yeah, a mini game like that I think would be fun.
I think so too.
Welcome Amiibo wasn't totally garbage. So there you go.
Daniel is gonna scorn us tomorrow.
Island Escape was fun, Daniel. Okay.
I'm like, oh, okay.
It was.
It was, yes. It was. We had a good time. I think that one was definitely more. We enjoyed it because it was a game we could play with our daughter. It was a family kind of thing,
Yeah.
you know?
She liked it. And she was a lot younger at the time. Now
Yeah.
she'd be like, this is boring.
Yeah. Not enough action in it.
I do have to ask you one quick question. I think this is one that is big.
Oh.
What is Isabelle going to do in this game?
That's what was on my list. That's what I was going to touch on next.
Well, there you go.
I'm fascinated with that. The roles of the characters that we don't know yet, major characters too, like Isabelle. Right now, you and I were talking privately before about how Nook and the Nooklings are kind of being advertised the most right now. They are the picture, the face of New Horizons.
Yes.
And this is something that I've continuously pointed out. Isabelle, who I would have naturally wanted to see as the face of this game too, she is a much newer character to the series than a lot of people think. I mean, and I know that there are a lot of longtime players, but Isabelle is fairly new. She was only introduced in New Leaf, and that was in 2013. The game has been around since the early 2000s. And so I think it makes sense that the focus falls back on somebody who has been around with the series for so long.
So Isabelle works for the company.
Yeah.
We know that.
Yeah.
She's wearing a shirt.
A pink shirt.
That has the logo.
Very vacation-y.
So she is going to be a tour guide, in my opinion.
Okay.
And
so like she introduces you?
I think she's going to be like, imagine like a camp counselor. She's going to be the one responsible for letting you know about all of the activities, for everything. She's going to do exactly what she did in New Leaf.
Yeah.
Like she was the assistant mayor. She's the assistant to Tom Nook.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, she really was the mayor.
Oh, yeah. She was definitely...
She did it all.
She did everything. I gave her the biggest amount of respect in New Leaf. She's fantastic. And that's why I wanted to see her have a big role in this one, too.
So I think Isabelle is going to be still the biggest NPC in the game.
Yeah.
I think she's going to be like, all right, campers, it's 4:00. we got a powwow going on over here
Luau.
on this side of the island.
Yeah.
We got some mini games going on this side of the island.
Okay.
So I think she's going to be that. In fact, I think tomorrow, the entire direct, I think it's going to be hosted by her.
I would love that. I would love to see her come back as more of a host.
And give us an Amiibo with her in that shirt.
What is with you and the Isabelle Amiibo?
The Isabelle Amiibo is... So I got to point this out too. I went to this place called Five Below, and they had a deal. So everything is Five Below. Yeah. At Five Below. Usually...
What?
Yeah, I know.
What?
It's crazy. When you get Amiibo there, they're $5. They had a deal going on for Animal Crossing Amiibo.
Okay.
3 for $5. So they had 3 Isabelle, and I rescued all 3.
What did you do with them?
I don't want... It's somewhere.
That's...
I'm hiding them around the house.
That's what concerns me the most.
Okay, yeah. Am I hoarding Amiibo? Maybe. But these little dudes are going to be worth some serious money when they announce that Isabelle is like one of the only Amiibo compatible with this game. And then who was smart? This guy.
Oh.
Yeah.
You want to think that.
Yes.
It's okay. You can go think that.
But yeah, I want to see Isabelle Amiibo with the pink shirt.
Yeah.
Give me the pink shirt Amiibo.
Give me the pink shirt.
And if they don't make one, Gone to Chris.
I was going to say, just ask.
TJ,
yeah. They'll make one for you.
Any of y'all.
Oh, yeah.
Hook me up.
Besides Isabelle, who was definitely needed some attention.
Yeah.
We also have Blathers and Cyrus. Now, it's interesting with the crafting that we saw, Cyrus didn't look like he was involved. It was, they went to the Nooks, I believe, for the crafting. So maybe Cyrus will be involved in another area of the game. Maybe he'll just be working with Reese at retail again.
Yeah, could
maybe
be.
It'll be a new shop that isn't called retail anymore.
I like the idea that retail is going to be online. Like, maybe randomly put you in a group with 10 other people.
That would be cool.
And have like a little commune.
What kind of Animal Crossing?
I have thoughts about Animal Crossing.
Animal sacrifices.
Animal sacrifices. Youth.
Youth.
Commune. There's one other word, but I can't remember.
I am both disturbed and very much looking forward to going to your island.
You should.
Okay.
It's going to be a disaster.
Oh, can you tell them really quick what you did when we streamed with Abdallah and what you made one of the rooms into for Happy Homeroom Designer? Do you remember what you made the room? They wanted a very basic type of design. It was the beginning of the game. And do you remember what you made?
Part of me thought it was like was it a prison?
It was a dungeon.
It was like
it was a very, very dark and dreary dungeon.
The animal loved it.
They
loved it.
They love everything you make in the game.
They're like, this is great.
This is amazing.
This is exactly what I was thinking.
Yes. Yeah. And that's where the game kind of teetered off for me. I wanted to know there was some type of curve there to the grading system, but there wasn't. They were happy with everything.
So in Pocket Camp, you have the ability to like set up furniture and animals can lay on it or sit on it. So people would make funerals where they'd put something where an animal could lay on it, and then chairs where they would sit in front of this sleeping animal and put flowers on the side, and then like a picture of that animal. That's good stuff. I mean, I love stuff like that.
It's very creative. You can take these very specific items I would never think to put together and make the most incredible and creative scenes. Okay, so Cyrus aside, he'll hopefully still be paired up with Reese.
I'm sure they're going to be in there somewhere.
Blathers.
Or what if they divorced?
Don't do that to me.
They could.
They're a beautiful pair.
Oh no, I want to see them I want to see like Cyrus with a brand new person.
and they don't
just
say
never
anything.
mention it.
They don't address it at all.
It's just Cyrus and some random giraffe or something.
But it has to be tied. It should be like Gracie's sister.
Or they dress another animal up like Reese, but it's very apparent
obvious.
It's not Reese.
So we have to wonder.
So we have questions the entire time.
What did he do to Reese?
It could be anything.
Where did Reese go?
I did mention in my tweet today about what I'd like to see that Tom Nook was murdered and we have to solve his murder before the killer kills again.
Oh, that's the one I wanted you to mention. That was one of my favorite.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of fun stuff here.
Very good. Okay, other characters that we'd like to see. Somebody mentioned Kix. Kix is one of my favorite.
And there's so many
characters.
shoes in this game, so Kix is going to be in it.
I really, really hope so. If we have like a town area, I would like to see Kix shop back. Blathers. I'm guessing Blathers is gonna be back with the museum. Dr. Shrunk. He runs the place. Oh wait, first before moving on from Blathers, what about Celeste?
If there's a museum, Celeste will be upstairs.
I think so. I think there was one where she wasn't in it, though.
I could imagine that we could get, I mean, you're on an island, it's nice and dark. There could be a whole stargazing type mini game. Constellations.
Oh, that would be great. Yeah, a mini game. Yeah, that would be nice. Okay, what was the other one you mentioned?
Who else? Dr. Shrunk.
Dr. Shrunk.
So he's my least favorite character in Animal Crossing.
Same here.
His whole job was to give you emotes, which was fine, but his humor was not great.
No, but it was okay. So it was supposed to be. He was supposed to be funny because he wasn't funny.
Yes,
and he tried really, really hard.
He did,
but
not hard enough to get his own amiibo.
No,
he did not get it.
It took so much time to get through that dialogue. I just never fell in love with that character.
I do have one other character I want to talk about.
Oh, which one?
And that is the character that needs to come back, and the character I want to see happy. And that is Mr. Rossetti. Mm-hmm. Mr. Rossetti is notorious for being angry and having a job and all this other stuff. I'd like to imagine him on vacation.
Yeah.
Not a care in the but still grumpy to a certain extent.
Okay. Yeah.
Like he forgets at moments he's on vacation, so he'll start to yell at you and he'll be like, "Oh wait, no, I'm on vacation. This isn't my problem." So yeah, I mean, I'd like to see his return, which I can't imagine Animal Crossing without Rossetti.
Yeah.
But besides that, I think those are the heavy hitters.
I think so too. One other thing that I was reminded about when I glanced at the screen was the weather conditions. We see that wind is blowing the leaves. And do you think we're going to see anything else added to the game? Now, is that just for detail? Is that just an extra detail?
I want to see storms.
I think storms, I feel like that's more likely now.
I want a tornado.
Oh.
I want, like, destruction.
So, volcanoes and tornadoes.
So, my thought would be
earthquakes?
I'd like to see if there was... I don't know if earthquakes, but storms to a certain degree where you have to clean up your town. You have to pick up the branches. You have to pick up the leaves or rake the leaves.
Yeah.
Just a little extra mechanic.
So you're talking about like a hurricane?
No, not necessarily a hurricane. No, just like a tsunami.
Tsunami? Yeah.
I don't think we're going to see tsunamis, but I can't imagine there being some sort of like heavier storm. I want to see lightning, some thunder. Stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah, I think so too. The fact that we have wind, you can see it rustling the leaves of the trees. I think it's a really cool detail to add, and I think it kind of gives way to possibilities for other weather conditions. I don't think it's going to be anything extreme, but I think that will add to the atmosphere of the game, and it'll also add an element of differentiation from day to day. So every day won't feel the same. Not every season will feel the same. We already have snow and rain for the different seasons, but I think we'll see other things too.
I do want to point one more thing out. This is my last major prediction for the night, because I know it's getting close to ending the stream.
Yeah.
Day 5, food starts becoming scarce. Nobody can leave the island. We find out Tom Nook brought you here with a Hunger Games type thing.
Oh my gosh.
So like a week in, people are hungry, and all of a sudden they find an axe in town square, just a random axe hanging out there.
Yeah.
You can pick it up. Maybe you won't pick it up. You're not that desperate yet.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily need to eat the other villagers at the moment.
Wait, what? Why did
it might come to that.
Why did this turn into cannibalism?
Well, everything turns into cannibalism at a certain point.
At a certain point. Okay.
Good. But yeah, I mean, we could see that.
Good to know.
That could end up happening at some point. Like a Hunger Games type.
Oh, yeah. So very likely. We'll add that to the list of unlikely things that you would like to
And
have.
one last mini game that I'd like to see, and this is an actual serious mini game. If you are a Wii U fan like I am, Nintendo Land was an awesome game, and they had an Animal Crossing mini game where you had to pick up candy.
Yep.
And it was so much fun.
That was the one where you had to go around and like hit them or do something to like.
The more candy you ate, the slower you became. So you had to like use the like area like smart.
Yeah.
It was so fun. It was such a blast. So I'd like to see that one too.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my thought for Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm gonna recap it real quick, and then I'll let you do a recap too.
Okay.
Recap number 1. Demo tomorrow. I'd like to see a demo. Recap number 2. We're going to find out about Amiibo support. Recap number 3. I think that's it. Those are my big 2 things.
Lovely.
Hunger Games.
Wonderful. I like that. I like it a lot.
Thank
Very
you.
creative. And I haven't heard it yet, so
Thank you.
Great. The main points for me, more insight on what we'll see as far as town life goes.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit more detailing where the town is located. Is it on the island, or is it like you said? Are we going to have to get there by boat or by the airlines?
Or is it a hologram?
Definite possibility.
These are all things that could happen.
It is 2020. So, yes. Other things too. We'll get better idea of the roles of certain characters like Isabelle and Reese and Cyrus. Maybe we'll get more insight on the crafting system. I would like to see something new as far as activities go, just a hint at what we're looking at here. And then, just a closer look at a few of the things that we know we're getting, like the museum.
Yeah.
But maybe, and I'd like to see a new shop. More character descriptions as far as the new characters we saw through the products. So Joan's granddaughter, or Chip's nephew, like all these characters that we've seen. I'd like to get a little bit of an idea of who they are, why they're here, and how we're going to interact with them.
I just had a weird idea.
What is it?
What if?
Oh no.
What if?
Oh no.
That is Joan. What if that is Chip? What if there is some
Is this
fountain?
lost? Is this lost?
What if there is some fountain of youth type stuff going on the island that will turn any of the villagers or animals into their puppy-ish form?
Oh, wow.
Their youth form. They'll all be youths. Youths everywhere.
You're such an old man.
Yeah, get off my lawn.
Get off my island.
Yeah. You know what? I am sticking with that theory. I think that is Chip, and I think that is Joan. Done. That's all I got to say. That's my prediction.
Okay. Well, you heard it.
It's either time travel or Bermuda Triangle. Yes, Bermuda Triangle. You're out in the ocean. Anything can happen out there. Okay. They were on their way. They were on their way to the island, and they got sucked into this Bermuda Triangle.
Okay.
And now they are young. Nobody knows why, but they are.
You solved it. You solved the mystery.
I did.
You solved the mystery.
Oh my God! Could you imagine? Could you imagine?
We've lost at least 20 viewers, Jason.
I don't care. It's the end of the stream. If this turns out to be true, I'm tasking one of the 63 of you. 64 of you in chat to clip that segment out and let the world know that Amiibo Jason knew.
You knew.
He knew either about the Hunger Games or the time travel or the Fountain of Youth.
I would be perfectly happy with any of those, and I really like your volcano story.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I think that's going to wrap it up for tonight, though.
Yeah, I got to play some Dragon Quest.
Yeah, he's almost finished with the game.
Very close.
Yes.
Very close.
And yeah.
If you're counting at home, we are about 10 hours and 45 minutes away from the Direct. We will be covering the entire Direct tomorrow morning at NintendoWire.com and on Twitter.
It takes place at 6 a.m. Pacific, 8 a.m. Central, and 9 a.m. Eastern.
Absolutely.
So keep that in mind. It's supposed to last about 25 minutes, so it's not going to take up a whole lot of time.
Yep.
But
we'll have a recap.
Yeah, we'll have a recap. We'll be reporting on any big news. We'll probably have a summary of everything that's reported.
Maybe we'll stream again.
Maybe.
Depending on what happens. If there's Amiibo news, just expect me to go nuts.
Yes, on his personal account and probably Nintendo Wire too.
Yeah.
So you want to stay tuned to Nintendo Wire, Ninwire on Twitter. We'll be reporting everything in live updates through tweets. Jason will be, I believe, behind that.
Yes.
Yes. And then you can see us freak out on our personal accounts. Where are you?
I am at Amiibo Jason. You can also find me over on Twitter at Ninwire. That's Ninwire. And of course, my first baby at Amiibo News. So that's still up and running.
It is.
Still going strong.
Yeah.
Even though I think about a week ago, Nintendo Wire finally surpassed it for subscribers. Or for followers.
Never thought I'd see the day.
I never thought I'd see the day either, but oh yeah, and one other thing too. If you're new, we're giving away an Animal Crossing New Horizons Nintendo Switch. Head over to Twitter at Ninwire. It's the pinned tweet. Follow the instructions, and you could win an Animal Crossing New Horizons.
I believe this is our biggest giveaway yet.
Nintendo Switch.
And that is sold out everywhere right now.
It is.
It is.
Did you tell them where they can find you?
No, I did not. I am Happily Candied, and that's HAPPILYCANDIED, and Twitter. And I don't really update my personal site, so I probably won't advertise that anymore. But I am Happily Candied on Twitter, and I like to talk about all things sweet. I like to post my photography and just talk about fun stuff, especially anything Animal Crossing related, including Pocket Camp.
Yeah. Thank you for staying tuned to all hour and 20 minutes of this stream. I know a lot of you did stay for the entire thing. We'll be back soon, but as always, until then,
stay wired in.
Bye, guys.
Bye.